Bum, bum, bum. There it is. Live. The Halo Hollow Stream, episode 6. Here we go again. I am Pops, your host, as we will discuss Paramount Plus's effort to adapt a video game in name only, because obviously there is very little video game in their video game adaptation. And with me, as always, this week is Ironcaster, directly to my left. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing just fine. I mean, aside from watching Halo, but
Yeah, sorry about that. But, you know,
it's been fun. Like I said, this has kind of helped me to appreciate the good stuff I'm going back to watching and rediscovering.
I like that take
Uh,
you had last week where it makes things. This is so gray and bland and grim that it makes things that are great like bright and colorful. Like they just stand out even more. That's a great point.
like I said, sometimes you just have to you have to get into some of the bad stuff to remember to make the good stuff that much better.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this too. And the man, the myth, the legend, host of the Morning's Mischief, Stone Loki. How are you, my friend?
Doing great, doing great. Had a great weekend, but then had to come back and watch an episode of Hollow.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah.
Credit to Ryan with that nickname because that's about right. It's how we all kind of feel. It's it's pretty bad.
Have you seen the picture of the new Captain Robert April? He looks just like Keyes. Isn't that something? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, definitely some. Anyway, some stuff to get to. If you drop that link for me, your version of that this episode will play better than mine, I'm sure.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Hit me up with that. We'll get that going. So let's see. I just watched it. I actually kind of put it off, kind of ignored it during the day because I had other stuff I was watching. Kind of watched those things first because they're tolerable. I don't think we've there's an HBO show called Winning Time about the 1979 Lakers. I've been enjoying that. Not a lot of sports folks in our genre-filled fandom, but I've been enjoying that. And then catching up, I've been setting up some streams through the rest of this week and next week. We're going to be doing a kind of a rooted politics meets cinema. It's actually going to be the anniversary of Churchill taking prime minister role in Great Britain. So we're going to do a little episode with Dunkirk and Darkest Hour with Troy Pacelli. So he'll be on with me on Thursday night. We talk about those two films. We may get to J. Edgar because J. Edgar is it's also the anniversary of Hoover. That movie is brutally hard to watch. It is. It's rough. Angers me. So I'll be doing that. And so I had other stuff to watch before I share Loki's feeling. Yeah, I didn't want to watch Hollow. It's kind of like, but yeah, here we are. Follow me, Minion. How are you? Videos of the pooch. Make sure you sub so you can get a little happy dose of the doggy time every day.
Truck dog.
It's the best. Great views too. I like some of the pictures from Idaho. So, all right. Why do I not have? There it is. Okay, here's the link. Thank you, my friend. We'll get that coming. So, your legs holding up all right, Loki? A lot of traveling and driving around.
A lot of traveling. 14 hours on the way back Sunday. It was one hell of a drive. I was talking about this morning, and Brian was like, 14 hours, but he drives a truck, and I used to drive a truck, and back then, 14 hours in a vehicle wasn't, bad at all. You just powered through it, and you did it. Nowadays, though, no, I'm glad to be out of that car.
See, I thought I thought the soreness of the legs was from all those boxes you had to pack out to the car.
Yeah, all those Star Trek boxes.
Oh my god! I put together the Enterprise B, the Excelsior class this morning. Yes, I did take it out of the box. Yes, I'm taking all of them out of the box. That's the whole point of buying them, is to take them out of the box. I understand that they are, sealed boxes from the 90s, but still, I'm opening them up, pulling them out. Hope I don't catch some like 90 coupe variant or something. You never know. You never know.
We didn't have it back then. It was fine. We could listen to so imagine that drive at my age. I would not have done well. It would have been rough. Since recent, I've had to cut back on my convention stuff. So we'll talk about that at the end. I think we'll have time. We'll go through this. So make sure I got audio off. We'll see how this goes. So we have this actually, this was another generic recap. We get a whole lot of just scattered stuff. This is the kidnapping of John, and he tries to attack her in the last episode. Then a battle ensues, and he's sad, John. Now, Hot Pocket showed up. We don't really act with any sense of security. You're trying to maintain the human species because we just keep taking this. She's already pulled this stunt once, and then now here she is again. Anyway, so the episode picks up with John, and he's just Mr. Sullen inside and stares off at nothing a couple times. This is Mr. Feelings. I refuse to call him Master Chief because he doesn't even put his helmet on the entire episode. Not once. Not a single moment. This is basically the collateral damage scene because Strawberry Spartan, she's called Kai, she got injured in the last one. She was taking on hits because both she and John have removed their butt plugs. So therefore, the only thing I did like about this scene was it didn't seem like the other Spartans picked up on the fact that that's why she was experiencing so much pain and traumas, because she doesn't have her butt plug in. So they just kept zapping her with their little analgesic, basically. And again, I think, when I saw this scene, I thought of you, Ironcaster. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, how they have sort of like this quasi sci-fi. They try to find these little things here, stick this here, stick that there. It'll look fancy. It will, I swear. And yet it never.
Right, we just got to put something in the corner here to look scientific. It's futuristic. It's good enough.
Yeah, they just don't. Yeah, I don't know. This episode really, really reeks of, 500 years in the future. We sure didn't get very developed in certain areas. So, silver pillows. So, if you make silver pillows looky, you'll be good to go. 500 years from now. So.
500 years from now, as long as they're silk and they look silver, by God, it's futuristic.
I don't understand why they took her shoes off.
There's a whole lot of cushioning in it.
Yeah, a lot of cushion. Took her shoes off. Don't know why. Thought that was weird. I pick up on these weird things.
But
we have black.
Afford it.
Someone's got a foot fetish.
Where's Quentin Tarantino? Wait, who directed this?
I don't want to know. Black Key shows up. Talk about a token character. Just literally like, black token guy in charge of military guy. It's just terrible. Then we cut over to Blonde Burrito. She's pretending or what. I don't even know. They don't even address why she's mumbling or why they claim she passes out or something. Anyway, John's malfunctioning because he can feel. And then we cut to Doctor and Creeper. There's his little plastic laptop that you love, Ironcaster. And here's like scientific plastic case that the I don't know. Look, can't you imagine something from our childhood easily being retrofitted into this case? Like, it's just something that they found at a Goodwill or a Salvation Army to make.
Oh yeah, that's a GI Joe carry case that you used to be able to carry all your GI Joes in back in the day. That's the GI Joe action figure carry case.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking of those kind of like 2000, like the late 90s, early 2000s computers they would put out for like 7-year-olds.
Oh yeah, God. You're right.
The speaking spells.
Yeah, some of those maybe. So these are the scenes where they actually spent money on some of that. How they make the Reach command base and the ships and stuff look decent. But then again, we end up with if you're in the middle of you want to invest your money, 500 years from now, we'll be using the exact same. I don't know, what do you call these carrying?
Body bags.
Stretchers?
Well, I don't think they're all dead. I think there are people in them. So anyway, yeah, they have not evolved at all. They have not changed. Nothing. There's no hovercraft. We can fly in this ship, but we still carry them one at a time. And I say all this knowing that I've been watching Dunkirk, as I mentioned earlier, which basically have the exact same scene where they're carrying people. All right, carry his little plastic laptop. Here's Sunrise. She's Black Dr. Keys. Well, I guess she's half. So we get to her a little bit later on. Her and Creeper, they're going to move and they're going to have some conversations. Doctor going the other way. Thought that scene was extremely weird. But then what was interesting, this was actually an interesting scene if this was not Halo and not episode 6. This is like I think Ironcaster, you and I were talking about, if we took 2 or 3 of these episodes and slammed them together, we can make like 2 or 3 episodes. This would be one of those scenes we could probably keep where he's snapping for some reason. And he basically tests how much Carantana, that's our nickname for the not Cortana, will handle as well. I mean, what he's willing to do.
Watching the whole episode, my nickname for her was "Shut up, Cortana." Yeah.
Well, she becomes irrelevant. Like they've kind of, I don't know. Did they to me they contradicted what she can or cannot do.
Look at that face, Paul's like,
horrible.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that is so horrible.
Blue-haired weirdo that I'm in your head, but I can shut you off. But look at the glitter they put in her hair. Like, it's just so, I don't know. They're so proud of themselves for this nonsense. But he's Mr. Feels. He's gonna try it out by poisoning her. Basically, they're gonna pull the radiation lever, and she'll die. And he goes to hold the hatch, and he basically dares Karen Tana to make him do it. She's like, I can't do that. That was it. And they call the bluff, and he basically says this is his way of figuring out where her limits are. I will say again, if this is another hollow script and we change it to something else, we can make this decent for an episode 2. We're trying to create some of the crazy post-cloning torture they've done to this guy. But it has nothing to do with the video game. It has nothing to do with Master Chief. It's just this weird feelings journey they're on. And then we cut to the not credits.
What did we get? And how many minutes was that? 8 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it was. Yeah. 8 minutes, 9 minutes. What did we get at all in that 8 or 9 minutes before the credit roll? Did we learn anything? Was there any character development? Was there any growth? Was there anything, even in this entire episode, that gave us anything besides bullshit exposition?
I would say again, I'll give them like a penny's worth of value that we learned John's emotional now, and he tests or at least he believes he's tested what Karen Tana is capable of. That's all. Literally, that's all that. Well, and we figured out Strawberry Spartan is going to survive. We know she's not actually dead. 'Cause I thought for a minute they may try to kill her off to drive John even more crazy. I thought that could be a possibility, but
she was a big pushing point in the preview campaign. Everyone, every minute you turned around, you saw some chick with strawberry red in her blonde hair, and it was like, this is really what we're gonna do. So no, I highly doubted they would do anything negative to her to get rid of her.
I wish I had the talents of this Masterson guy who could make the action figures or whatever, so we can get like a little Spartan figure of her and make strawberry hair for her, so she could be our version of and put her on a card that says Strawberry Spartan and stuff. That'd be my dream. Make our own personal line of the Halo action figures with Miss Mullet and John.
This is so absurd. This was about the one scene this scene I actually gotta say I did like going into this because it built up this. Yes, right here. You get to see her watching the clock ticking down as she's about to die, and getting to see one of the most unlikable characters in the show, just for being this outright villainous character that they want to build up and make you hate. And I'm sorry, it kind of works on me here, but I like there's just so much to not like here. Like,
well, I will say this: at least made her a villain to John. Now that may not hold, but at least. Again, I'm going to throw my pennies of value here because if I were rewriting the show, which is what I would like to do, this would be like episode, we would take all this mess and we could whittle it down to episode 2 or 3. We have so little to work with. This creates tension that could have been happening to him after he touches an artifact and has visions and doesn't understand it. She's lying to me and whatever. Next thing you know, he does this. This is almost like an end of the episode. Like he's just snapping. We don't quite know what he'll do next, but he knows she's a villain. And that's pretty much what we accomplish. And that's really about it. It doesn't matter, folks, because they don't stick with anything. By the end, like Loki says, we don't really care. So anyway.
And the way they've done her, the way they've done Halsey, I mean, you're okay. What she says later in this episode when she says, I don't care about family, I don't care about any of these things. If that had been Keyes telling his daughter that, this would be the most villainous father figure. This is a horrible, toxic human being. They are going to find ways to wrap this whole thing where Halsey is just peachy keen, and it'll be okay. Even though she said all this hurtful shit to her daughter, even though she's done all this shit, I don't really care about you. I only care about the mission. I've never cared about family. Why the fuck do you have a kid if you never cared about family?
Yeah, that was we'll get to that monstrous scene because it's like you're just looking at your daughter who you have no relationship whatsoever. You're now having this situation where you should be trying to save one another, humanity, all the other nonsense that's supposed to be a theme of the show. And you say, well, I don't really believe in family. To your daughter. It's so, and the problem is like within a minute, the dialogue drifts away from that. Because I don't know about you, man. and maybe I'm just an evil person. Whenever this, I put myself in their age. When I was their age, I was not a very good person yet in my life, or at least trying not to be. Probably would have slapped the person or punched the person. Like, it's just such a crazy thing to say to another human being. Like, you say that to me? Like, what? They just take it and nothing happens. It's, I don't know. Yeah. And then they button it up, like you said, which is what we all know will probably happen. It makes it even more disgusting. I don't know.
Or they'll one up it, and instead, like, oh, she'll actually hug her daughter and actually give her that connection, and they'll patch up the relationship.
Yeah. So when we pick up the episode after the not credits, we have Burrito being experimented on. Everybody's watching videos, trying to discuss what to do with her, why to do with her, but we don't really have any security. Again, no armed guards really around her or anything like that. And then spontaneous person, we have character.
Not Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, just what? Here's the authoritarian POC, which, by the way, we have her name in this episode. I guess you guys caught her name. Are you ready? It's Margaret. Because when I think of Margaret, Margaret, I got a feeling Margaret is not in the video game.
No,
we're clear.
Not at all. Lord Hood is, but Margaret isn't.
Yeah, Margaret. So Margaret's talking to Junior Dafoe and this lady with weird sideways bun hair. I don't even know what the frick is happening with these characters. These cheesy sci-fi costume cosplay outfits. Go ahead.
Yeah, she looks like a replicant extra from Blade Runner.
I think she looks like a waitress at a sci-fi restaurant at one of the theme parks.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's pissed because she brought the wrong drinks. So that's the look he would have. That's really how this plays out in my head. So you have these random people there. We discuss Admiral Hood, but he's never there. We have no idea why he's not there. This actually could have mattered if everybody came, but nope, he's not bothered. Black Keys doesn't know what to do either. Blah, blah, blah. As I say, chatty chat, talk, talk, talk. I want to play that scene again. I don't remember that line. The footsteps come and go. Well, I know we have our little pet peeve about some of the footsteps, but oh, that's right, squid heads. Okay, so they're referring to the elites don't take hostages, so they don't know what to do with them. And then anyway, so this is her in her little prison garb, and they're going to chat for a minute.
Hello, Hot Pocket. My name's John, not the Master Chief.
You sound like you smoke a lot. Sorry. You sound like you smoke a lot, John.
I do. I smoked a hot babe named Cortana. But she's not in this. She's in the video game.
She's inside my head. But you can't see her right now. I told her to go nighty-night. We make some facial expressions and we have some close-ups. So here's his.
Oh, God, help me.
God, brutal?
It's
so brutal.
Who does number 2 work for?
That's right. You tell that turd who's boss.
What's a blessed one? What do you mean, what's a blessed one? Isn't it self-explanatory in the English language what a blessed one is? It's so stupid.
Is that a pooper you don't have to wipe?
It just gets stuck like a dingleberry. I just carry it around with me because I'm a man.
American slang, it's called an amber turd.
Hashtag Bootu. All right. All right. We just get nonsensical sci-fi stuff, and then weird shots like this. There are some strange cinematography episodes. They think they're so full themselves. So this is one of the ones where we have a shot like this, where we black out pieces and we pull back. It's so strange to me. We'll do another one later on where it's like, what are they doing? And then we spontaneously have this guy. He looks like a reject that didn't make the Star Wars cut in one of the films. Like he was supposed to be.
He looks like he could be Joss Whedon's stunt double.
Oh my God.
Or a relative of, oh my God, what's a little, Jabba's little creature. Salacious
Crumb. He's a Salacious Crumb.
Salacious Crumb.
Yeah, could be. He could be the voice of Salacious. Yeah. Ugnaught. Yeah. The best is that he matters so little that in a moment they walk in.
Get the hell out. Get out.
They're talking to Dr. I'm sorry, I didn't really set this scene up. They're interrogating Dr. with Authoritarian. And then John walks in, get out. And Ugnaught just leaves. And then we cut to this scene because we realize Black Keys and authoritarian POC, Margaret, are not actually in the room. They put these little Othello discs on their head, and they can somehow project into the room. They don't set this up at any other episode. We have no idea what's happening. They don't explain it. You just put this Othello disc on your head, and you can. So Loki, when you play the game, how many Othello discs do you use? Don't have those?
Nope.
Ironcaster, know about any Othello discs? Anything? You got anything? Got a reference so we can put our head around? I got nothing.
I think I actually have some down here.
Dr. Doctor starts to lecture us all about humans are hardwired to actually try to survive and do human things and whatever. So we'll pause for a moment. Let's catch up the chat. Apollo Minion was offering to drive you around, Loki, just saying.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Apollo.
Go for a ride. Chris Bergia in the house. What's a blessed one? Oh, I thought he was asking, what's a flaccid one? To which I was to say, this series. Indeed. Keely Chow. I was going to let Loki say it because he does it better than me.
Roll Tide, Keely. Roll Tide.
As a Floridian, I'm not sure I can say that in good. Especially because I moved closer to Gator country, and I am not a fan. I went to USF, so I'm a Bull guy. We don't really have a football team that we can speak of. Hail to all. Thank you, Chris Bergia. Thank you so much, Boss Loki and Apollo Minion. Yes, thanks. What's going on? We are running through, so you don't have to. Awesome one popping in. Thanks, yo poppers. Okay, he keeps trying. Nicknames are flying. Hashtag real BBC raid. Are they live or something? Is that what he means by that?
No, they just ended.
Okay, cool.
Or are wrapping it. Oh, no, they have ended.
Okay, cool. I can pass it. Roll cheese. Okay. All right, so we'll go back to our scene. We have talk. Humans are still hardwired for conflict and selfishness. Translation, we'll fight to survive. We will take care of our own. We'll fight for our families and ourselves. And you're going to kidnap children and reprogram us into these things so they won't do that.
It's a problem that humans are hardwired for conflict. So I'm going to go and engineer super soldiers for conflict.
Yes. That will only do the conflict I want them to do. I will reprogram and make them better. I feel like it's just like rejected dialogue from a Terminator 15 movie. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Let's see. They were too young. Oh, so this is her trying to justify, I'm going to kidnap small children, replace them with clones that die, and I'm not really a monster because the ends justify the means. Now, Loki, you did say that there was at least some sort of precedent in one of the offshoots of Halo where they explain the cloning process. Some of this is those jangled keys, right? They're trying to jangle some keys here for the fans.
Okay, so they kidnapped the Spartans and as children, and they left flash clones, and those clones would die. They'd die of a disease, they'd die of a tumor, they'd die of a stroke, they'd die of all these different diseases within the first year of being there. That way, they could never find out. The parents got closure.
Right.
Now, I understand that, but this whole like wiping the mind out and blanking the actual people like John and Strawberry Shortcake and all of them, they never did anything like that. They taught them to be, and Halsey was up front with them. This is why we need you. We are going to turn you into the baddest soldiers ever. You have been conscripted by the UNSC to be super soldiers of the future. And this is what you're going to do. The kids that didn't make it. The ones that did. And when they had their first big loss, which was after the augmentation process, John literally was like, I'm going to fight, I'm going to kill, I'm going to take people out because I'm never going to lose anybody again. That does not sound like this mind-wiped nutty butter that we've got in this show that is not Master Chief.
No, he's got his butt chip out, and now suddenly he's feeling. He's got a lot of feelings. And this is a off-camera. We learn in just a moment. Sunrise, she went and got herself one of those Othello chips, put it on her head because she's not actually in the room, but she's witnessing technically her mother admit to basically just being an absolute monster.
And I mean, the thing about this is, this scene is just so poorly done because you could have done with this with like an interrogation room, with with like little sub rooms that people could stand in and listen in on. You don't have to go to this extra step of working in this like VR and like hollow projection thing. It's just an unnecessary bit of technology that can confuse the audience.
Well, yeah, again, it's like they don't want to spend any money for anything here. So this is a way for them to try to seem futuristic. But again, we have the technology to use an Othello chip to create a virtual reality eavesdropping mechanism. But we're still using, regular tires on our Cambo speed buggies and our clear umbrellas. And yeah, we just pick and choose how futuristic we want this show to be. It's just, it's so weird how in and out of it you can get. Again, this is all exposition, talky talk, chatty chat, and then it's like the mysteries because she always talks out of both sides of her mouth like she's a genius, but she doesn't know what's going on. So it's yeah. And then we move to the hallway, and John basically. Oh wait, I'll just play this. Yeah, this is this. Let's see if we can get to go back just a tad so you can see. Yeah, we have to have all this nonsense. Did it play? No, it didn't play. There it goes.
I'm gonna do it without you.
I'm going alone or with somebody else. Whatever I have to do. Othello chips off, so they disappear out of the room. Yeah, and then she's in the hallway trying to talk to Master Chief. I'm really, really sorry my mom did to you. I mean, she's my mom, but not really my mom because I didn't know her. He's like, get away from me. I have somewhere to go alone or with other people.
They will have a breakdown in the hallway. Yeah, Ironcaster, brother, yes. Yes. Same thought, same time, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I have to go break down in the hallway because, I'm Master Chief. Ah.
Oh, crap.
We got to have feelings
holograms following me again. Stop talking to me. I'm not interested in your advice. I want to play it because it's so funny.
Feelings in hallways. Isn't that a bitch?
And again,
I'm cutting you out.
That's not a gamble I would take.
I'm not interested in your advice anymore.
Get away from me. I lecture you because I'm not only a female, I'm a female hologram you can't get rid of because I live inside your head. Oh, wait, that was supposed to be her, wasn't it? Sorry. It's funnier having her have in and out of her male voice.
I'm sitting in my room. I'm sitting in my room here, and I'm watching this, and I'm just screaming at the TV, "Shut up, Cortana!" Again, that's gonna be her nickname at this rate.
I'm surprised he just start shooting like electrical stuff in his head, just figuring how let me just try this, see if it'll just short circuit her out or something. Because it's so weird how they use her and don't use her. All right, then we cut over to Strawberry Fields, and she's dealing with her emotions because John went and told her, yeah, we were kidnapped and they put a clone in our place and our clones died, so our parents thought we died, but we didn't die. We're here. I love you, girl. I love you too, Master Chief. You like my strawberry hair?
I do.
But I gotta go alone or with somebody else.
More gun grease for it.
Gun grease. Yeah, that was so strange with the gun grease line in that last episode. Like, if gun grease has gone to your brain. Girl, gun grease gone to your brain. You're acting crazy. It's like,
can you help me to the bathroom, Master Chief? I've been having problems standing up.
They didn't give me any shoes. I don't want to walk on this floor. Oh, see, someone has a name we didn't know before. Parangoski. Whatever. That's supposed to be Margaret, right? Yeah, Margaret. Margaret Parangoski. That's exactly who she looks like. A Margaret Parangoski.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Abba Sarala wannabe. The Abba Sarala wannabe of Halo that we never got in the game because men are sexist.
Margaret Parangoski. Authoritarian POC. Maggie. Lecture. Someone's going to take the fall. I'm not doing it. I'm going to put your daughter in charge because. And we cut back over to Burrito so we can show off there's some scars. And I actually had to watch this. I was listening and not watching enough. I looked away. I had to rewind it because I didn't know this was Sunrise at first. I was confused. It doesn't really matter. Most characters are interchangeable. And it was basically like, were you tortured? Were you whatever? We got a transmission. Yeah. So she's a risk now because she knows But she's going to put together that's the same girl that brought the spaghetti monster onto the other ship, episode 2 or 3 or whatever. And then there's this weird shot. Let's see if I can get it to come back up, where he's like peeking around the wall or something. It's just strange. This whole scene, these scenes. Come up. Let's see if it goes. She just looks around. She's telling her little story. See, like peeking around the corner. I see Burrito. I'm connected to her somehow. She might complete me. And then suddenly he's Master Chief, Petty Officer John 117. And I hear this dialogue and I go, no, not really, no. No, you're not. You're just John.
It's pretty petty anyway.
Who, pun intended. Then we cut to scenes they spent money on by building this crappy set that looks like it's fancier than it is. Notice how there's nothing else around it. They just wheel it out here, and there's nothing underneath it. See this open right there? You see the space under the legs of the table?
Oh, that's such crap.
This is garbage. Look at this one. This one too. It's just propped up equipment. Remember the original Star Trek show? How elaborate the sets were, like floor to ceiling. Look at this. They're just propped up. You could fold these down and shoot something else in here in the same day.
It's a rental. Don't put any holes in the walls.
There's stickers. It's like Bob's Barricades. Bob's Sci-Fi Equipment. He drives me nuts whenever it's just such crappy crap. And then spontaneous drone spying. It was.
See,
what is happening?
I thought with this they were building up to like Dr. having like hacked this drone to give herself this big dramatic escape. Like we're actually gonna like have the Doctor on the run. It's like, okay, we're gonna actually get a little excitement here. But no, it's
just spying.
We just followed this thing for no reason.
Look how great that CGI is. Look, I know you were thrilled. Look at that.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it. It's like McDonald's all over again. I'm loving it.
Maybe you could CGI one of us riding it.
Oh yeah, like a Bronco, like a Bantha.
I'm in the Halo
the
show
3 windows
now.
here are my excitement.
There it is, his spying on her in her nightgown. Now, because suddenly she has like an apartment. Like she was in a prison cell with concrete blocks, but now this dangerous genius that's been controlling science and has hijacked our most dangerous weapon. She's going to be our prisoner, where she can read her books and light a candle.
In a 90.
I don't know what this is. Is this a cat bed? What the heck is this thing over here on the right, about below the plants? It's just
that's where her little office pimp. Or office simp lives.
Creeper has to lay his pillow, right? That's it. That's his pillow and blankie, so he can sleep on this curved couch thing. This little slope. My grandkids would love this thing to play on, by the way. They'd be rolling down that, shooting their Hot Wheels down that.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why she never let Sunshine in there to hang out with her.
Yeah, she won't ever get anything done. She's playing and carrying on. We chat, blah de blah. Through all this stuff, we get liquid nonsense to get strawberry.
I mean, they're kind of using this to show off that because she doesn't have her little butt plug in, she's not able to focus like they are and get into the specifics of the equipment. So again, is this implying something about women being unable to focus?
Go back 1 second, or just like where that gun is on the table, where you see the holographic. Okay, stop. Okay, that right to the left of level, or right to the right of level. That gun right there is a it's like a laser cannon. Now that's in the game. Okay, I see all this stuff from the game. You see sniper rifle on the wall. You see the single shot battle rifle on the wall. You see the grenades. You see a couple of handguns down there. You see all these weapons on the wall. You see a diagram of the machine gun, the UAC machine gun on the wall. Why do they have all these things from the games when they don't want anything to do with the games? I mean, they've never answered. They won't answer that. They want it to look like Halo. They want it to sound like Halo. Every once in a while they want and I honestly think This is also people that have never played these games, people that have never done anything with this will see this and go, oh, I want to play the games. And then they go and they get their little Master Chief collection and they play the first game and they think, I know all this stuff because I know the secrets of what happened before this. Suck a big fat toe. This is all horseshit. This is all mirrors. Yeah, on your show, it's a toe. I'm trying to keep it PG-13, ladies and gentlemen.
I was not expecting toe. That was a great metaphor for that. I'm going to have to make sure I tell my wife that. So, are you looking at my toe? And she will not know the reference, but I will let you know her response. Jace is dropping in. Says, back at this, boys. Ooh. Yeah, we're doing it for you, Jace. You don't have to do it. Awesome one. Throwing more comments here. Why does his head look like he's floating on a different body for a tall dude? Trust me, John, they have him so zombified. Even though he's feeling, it's like his head does not match his body, his face. The emotions are not right. They add like handshaking in this episode. It's just, this episode was so fracking bad. Closest thing out of my Jace accent.
I don't like this episode.
Dangerously. Chris Persia enjoys our Cliff Notes version of watching Hollow. He's like, yeah, better them than us. Yeah, thanks, bro. And no suit. No second of helmet on, formerly known as Master Chief. Not a single frame. It. He just carried it around a couple times. Yeah, he has it. Maybe he carries his money in it like Boba Fett did. I'm watching this also to talk about this shite. And then
at least Boba Fett got like money put in his helmet.
Yeah.
Like Master Chef here just carries it around to remind the audience it exists.
Bingo. Yeah. The jangling of the keys. So, this progresses, and then we cut back over to Sunrise. She's going to be in charge. She gets to go into the lab for the first time. There's her facial expression. I'm so glad it landed on the right frame. This poor actress. I hope she's got some residuals on this show that Paramount will have to pay you something. There's no chance I believe that's the case, but girl, stop doing that face. You're better than this. You can do better. This is their sci-fi show, man. This is their sci-fi show. A bunch of empty spaces, some screens. I've seen this light looking at model houses at some point in my life. I've seen that before.
So explain something to me here. With this scene specifically. You find out that your mother absolutely positively hates you. You find out that your mother kidnapped a whole bunch of kids and did all kinds of nasty experiments on them and made their parents think that they were dead. You find out all this nasty, horrible shit. You find out you're not really wanted. Your mother doesn't think of you as a daughter because, hell, she doesn't think of anybody like family at all because family is an outdated concept that's not going to work in her new world order that she's building. And yet you walk into a lab like a giddy fucking schoolgirl, your mother's lab that she's worked at for God knows how long, and you're like, oh my God, it's mine now. How does that make any sense whatsoever?
It doesn't make sense. Here's why we have this lab. I want to go back. Here's why we have this scene right here. Look, male Spartan left, female Spartan right. That's why we have this scene.
I mean, it's like, given everything we've seen that the Doctor has done with this show, you'd have to stop and look in this lab and be wary of everything. Like, what could this woman have done to this room?
Like, I expected her to be.
If anything could be bugged, what could she have hidden in here? This is
that's true, Ironcaster. I was thinking she's going to go into the room exasperated, like, what am I going to do now? My mom is a bigger monster. This is all a way bigger mess than she knew 2 seconds ago before the conversation Loki's talking about. And you're right, Loki, that they downplay. There's not a human that acts like a human in this show. Let's think for a minute. Are there any? I guess. Not Dave Chappelle. We have to keep going back to not Dave Chappelle as our best character because he actually acts like a human. Are there any others?
Although the only other thing I can give is her walking into this lab. She's getting the position she's so wanted. This is her moment. She's walking into what is her lab. So I can see that with that goofy look on her face. This is if I'm in this position, like, I would want to just walk in and just for a moment. And enjoy just
I don't know. I feel like crap though. Like I know I've taken jobs where I'm replacing someone who got fired, or I'm replacing somebody. I'm replacing a situation that's not a positive one. I kind of feel terrible for a moment. It overwhelms the positive of maybe getting a promotion, or I don't know. They don't convey anything that seemed real to me. I mean,
but yeah, there is the issue here of the family matters.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything on this. You're not getting any resolve on that with this
Right.
character. You're not getting anything to connect with as a human. They're all just robots.
Yeah, it's just
shallow ones at that. Shallow robotic cosplay. Yes.
Yeah, it's cosplay. So then she can't get in. There's some sort of issue, so she's got to go talk. So this is the part where it gets into just the absolute craziest dialogue.
I don't like you. I don't like you either.
And John is at great risk.
I need to be in there doing this job.
Spare me your concern. We both know it's not your strong suit.
That dialogue is.
Oh,
look at even eye rolling. She's even eye rolling. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm standing here doing this scene.
Did you just say that? That's a terrible line. You need to say that again. That was horrible.
I'm in what show?
How much am I being paid for this?
Look at that. It was so good. That was so good because she just she almost can't believe that. It's like, what's her facial expression? Oh crap! What did?
Previously on Halo.
Oh crap! You gotta be kidding me. Never mind. Let's go back. Let's see here. Yeah.
Please spare me your concern. We both know it's not your strong suit.
Did you say that? I'm talking to you as a scientist. That's so bad. So terrible.
I'm talking to you as a scientist.
You kidnapped, mutilated, and murdered dozens of children.
To say
But I'll be dancing and happy and skipping when I go in your lab.
I need the password. Can you give me the password to the table computer, please?
Mom, I need the Netflix password.
The Wi-Fi's down in your lab. Okay, I know you butchered people and you experimented on other human beings, but I really need the Wi-Fi password.
Oh, well, you've got to push the reset button on the back. You got to hold it for 5 seconds. Then you have to unplug it and plug it back in. Did you follow the instructions at the back of the router?
There's a cartridge in there. You take the cartridge out and blow in it.
This is what we waited 20 freaking years. And yes, I almost said the other word there, but this is what we waited 20 years for.
For 10 years, this is
I want to go and burn. I want to go and burn down Paramount for just for this. Forget Star Trek. Forget all that. 20 years we waited for Halo, and this is what we got.
So I know that you guys think we're crazy doing this, but there's part of me that thinks, as other people will eventually find the show. So let's just fast forward to, 5 years from now or whatever. It'll probably be branded under a different company name or whatever. When people see this, there will be eventually wake-up calls for people, right? There'll be some 16-year-old, there'll be some high school kid, there'll be whatever. They'll wake up just like we did at some point. We saw decent things, and we can start to discern the good stuff from the bad stuff. And our videos will hopefully be there. These videos will be there. I know the Picard stuff that you're doing, Loki, too. You've really fallen on the swords in this genre pop culture arena, my friend. We'll let them know they're not crazy. This is garbage, folks. This is absolutely insane. To be honest, it's hard to believe that it's Paramount and it's not like. I was reminded of when I wanted to do some film stuff and I thought about how you could do it. We didn't have the technology now, but I'm thinking this is something I could think college kids could have put together as fan fiction. This is something they could have done. You know what I mean? Well, we're going to come up with this idea. Here's what we're going to do. It's just that badly done. I don't know.
There's good cheese. There is good cheese out there. There's B movies that are absolutely wonderful. You look at a company like Full Moon Entertainment. They made the Puppet Master series. Those are some B level horror movies, but they are fun and enjoyable to watch, and you get a kick out of them. You don't even get that with this. It's not so bad. It's good. It's bad. The writing is bad. The action is bad. The special effects are bad. The prop department is bad.
Hair design, yeah.
All of it.
There are so many of these older movies that you can find out at this time on these streaming services for free that you can just watch for about 100 different movies from just nonsense stuff you could be watching instead of this just because it's the licensed property. There is so many of these ones that have been gone unnoticed on YouTube, like Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Ooh. So let me ask you this.
Favorite Rowdy Piper movie.
Oh, let's put this in the back of our minds. Like, so when Halo starts to come to an end in about 3 weeks or so, what do we do then? I think we should have a good night movie. We should have a good movie night or a good show night or something. We should do one night. Maybe we do more of a panel too. We can bring people in with suggestions or something and just have like, okay, we survived Halo together, folks. Now let's have a moment, take a breath, then we'll figure out what's next. But Chris Persia brings up a great point. Margaret Perengoski. She looks legit Polish. Yeah, that's on the back of that action figure card when we flip it over. Awesome one. This is more like Homelander 2.0 with soldiers being experimented on. Okay. It's just John. It's just John. Look, Mim's here. All right. You guys are all being all silly faces. All three of you know quality entertainment when you see it. Quality entertainment. Yes, with a straight face. I read that statement. And Loki getting the thumbs up from the chat. It is just really it's so bad. Anyway,
what happened? What happened to something like this? Permission to leave the station, sir. For what purpose? To give the Covenant back their bomb.
I had to.
What happened? It's a game. It's a game.
A first-person shooter game, right? With full of violence and disdain and chaos for killing things, and yet we don't have any action. We have nothing happen this episode. Nothing. Bunch of chat, whatever. She's a prisoner. Look, she's in her freaking apartment. Look at this. Silver prop. Skull on something, silver prop, and whatever this alien thing. Talk about a prop. Somebody robbed an Aliens 5 set department piece and stuck it in a tank over there or something. What the heck is this thing on the left? Look at this.
Looks like a face hugger to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're going to trust Dr. Docker with a face hugger? Maybe that's it. Halo is secretly setting up an Aliens trilogy.
I mean, in a normal universe, that would be the greatest crossover ever.
With Master Chief having to save everyone from the aliens.
Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine an alien coming out of a chestburster coming out of a flood? So it's not only got Covenant like elite DNA in it, but it's got flood DNA in it too. So it's like an alien elite flood hybrid.
Like I'm just imagining the jaw when it opens up, then vivisex. It just divvies up in the middle.
Yes.
These are way too good ideas for these people. That's for sure. They would not be capable of these good ideas. So meanwhile, we're going to do the worst idea and the idea of it. So we just can't have any sense of common sense. I love this costume. Look how bad that is. That is so cosplay.
He looks like a cardboard cutout.
He just has MP on it.
Bunch of worse shit.
So we're basically going to let Master Chief. So she's basically on this conversation that John and Hot Pocket share DNA. They're going to chat.
They both ate the rigatoni noodles last night.
Yeah, he starts having feelings and indigestion because he hasn't pooped. We talked about that previously in the episode when he has constipation faces. That's his idea of expressing emotions. And then it's like, oh, you touched the thing. It's actually might be killing you. So I know what we're going to do. We're going to go touch the thing. That's basically how this continues. And then she's spying because, in the lab, she figured out the password. He's having indigestion. And let's see here. Sunrise is like, no, you can't do this. You're going to kill yourself. Let me monitor you, though. And then Dr. Doctor is monitoring. He touches the thing. And everyone goes, like, it's somehow connected to both. Let's see here. Yeah. So Hot Pocket passes out too. So they're just moving along. So he's doing his whooshy wush. She paces. There you go. And then the MPs. MPPOCs comes in. The other guy didn't come in. Go ahead.
They also point out that Dr. Doctor is able to remotely, like with the help of Cortana, shut down Master Chef if he's getting too far.
Right. But she doesn't do it.
But again, meanwhile, while she's doing all this, she has her her assistant, the creeper, there when she's supposed to be under lock and key. Like, why are you letting this guy in there with her? This is.
These are WebMD graphics, by the way.
Oh, are they?
That's what it looks like to me. As a healthcare worker, just felt like it was something ripped off by a WebMD video or something.
Well, they've used Shutterstock. They have used Shutterstock in this series. So.
Exactly what it looked like to me.
So many shows we find out do that.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if I found out that was an old WebMD video that was put out for public domain at some point.
Both Picard and Discovery used Shutterstock.
Jeez Louise.
So it's a Paramount thing, apparently.
Well, it's not going to exactly have much budget left over after everything.
And then basically, John and Hot Pocket basically have a face-to-face here
on the Halo
in this hallucination of Halo. Here's my favorite part. Boy, he leans right in. She's looking at him like, "Yes, John. Go for it, John.
Kiss me.
Do it, John. Lean in. Oh, he's touching my cheek."
I thought this was going to cut to them riding horses.
I thought she was going to take his thumb in her mouth. I mean, look at her. Like, if you go back like 10 seconds, just enough.
No, don't push that.
That goes back to the beginning. Okay, good.
There was the other button.
Okay, and he like reaches his hand in, and watch her mouth. Watch her mouth. He's going to be like, I'm going to put my hand. Watch her mouth. I'm going to open up my arms. I was like, what in the hell am I watching?
I have to be honest. I was actually hoping, cheering for anything positive to make me like this show. I was hoping that her finger needles thing that she has would come out and just stab him right in the gut. I know it's a hallucination. I got it. It's not actually happening, but I can dream.
What a shit show.
And then they wake up. They're back at their thing where they have been on Halo, and that's how the episode ends because it's the best. It's right there. It's the bestest ever. It's the bestest ever.
So I'm willing to bet that by the end of this first season, we're gonna be on the Halo, or we're either gonna be on it, or we're gonna have a ship flying to it.
I don't think so. I think this is it. This is all we're going to get. Whatever they're going to tease next season, it's not going to be Halo. It's going to be something else. So if they are on a ship and they think they're going to Halo, they're not really going to Halo, because when they get there, it's not going to be there. There's going to be nothing there. It's going to be something. This is all a setup. We're going to give you a tease, and we're not ever going to fulfill that tease until either the very end or until this long ass story arc that they've come up with is going to be over. This is all a tease. This is your season 1 tease. You probably aren't even going to step foot on Halo or see a Halo until either 3rd season or very, very tail end next.
Don't say 3rd season, please.
Oh, it'll happen because it's just cheap content. They've already rented all the equipment. They've got the costumes all picked out. It's so easy to write.
Apparently they'll save even more money by showing Master Chief's butt off.
Yeah, I'll have some more butt plugs pulled out. Chris Berger points out high school students make better scripts than this. Yeah, absolutely. Ryan's popping in. Hey, Ryan, we're watching Hollow. Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah, 20 years in the waiting. It's an outrage. Yeah, it's absolutely insane how bad it is. It's shockingly bad. It really is. So,
Peter Jackson,
super silly face, because it happened a lot in this episode. Like, we got to talk about our feelings and stuff. Yeah, man, we got to talk about our feelings. It's all about the feelings. It's everything now is. Now, this actually was done by guys, evidently. I had to verify that they didn't swap on me, but it's still the same creators. But I feel like I'm in the world that Loki kind of he crashed it for me when he called them Scissoring Hens. Scissoring Hens, written by Scissoring Hens for Scissoring Hens. That's how I feel. Hence the reason of the face massage and the thumb sucking that almost happened.
Yes.
It's just like, what the heck? And she still has like the weird lesbian cut. And I'm waiting for her to go. Let's see if we can get to play. Let's do our own dialogue in this scene. I just want you to know, John, my pronouns are thee and they.
Oh, I love that. I love giving it to the short-haired. Yeah, short-haired, green-haired. Yeah, oh yeah, Cortana, jump in here anytime.
Hey,
Chief, can you be-
Strawberry Spartan, did you see her? She's pretty hot. She did her hair. She's pretty greasy, but I think you'll like it.
Not Cortana Zafuda. Oh, did he do it? Yes. Loki did it. Loki dropped it.
Yep.
Not Cortana Zafuda.
Yeah, she's Fuda.
Push harder so your Wally Wally will come out.
Hi there. Next week on Hollow, Miss Mullet might be back. I forgot about
Master
her.
Chief might actually poop.
I forgot the scene where he hallucinated. I just skipped right over it. I don't even know where to look. I don't even care. Sorry, folks. There's one quick 2-second moment where he basically like hallucinates. She's standing there or whatever. So yeah, Chris Burgess said, yeah, he went there. Fuda. This is so good. Why we both fake blondes to become Jodie Whittaker, Doctor Who, to the BBC, the rights to the. You know what? Yeah, I'm so happy.
That's why I call her Doctor.
She is. That is how the Doctor came. Adega Outlaw came in, just let the Covenant end it all. It's a bit of
That's right. That's right. Mad Doctor knows what he's talking about.
That's right. That's it. That's right. So, yeah, there's just like, no. The professor. That's a great line. The professor, the fellowship's professor right there chiming in. So, we'll have we got a little bit of time. Look at that. So Loki, let's talk about. I'm so uplifted. I was following you guys in your adventure, cheering for videos, cheering for stuff, because to me the conventions are so important because to me it brings normalcy back.
Yes.
That was my biggest thing, is just the normalcy of it all, of having
and to answer that, I actually talked to the guy who organizes all this.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually walking out to my car to take some stuff out, and he saw me. He was like, "Oh my God," and we got talking. They had 1,000 people last year on a Saturday.
Yep.
They had 1,000 people confirmed before it started. So that is people who had passes, guest passes, VIP passes, whatever, for Saturday. That is not people that came and bought a ticket.
Right.
But just people that were confirmed. 5,000 people.
Insane.
The line to get inside, it went from the front door all the way around the hotel to the other side.
That's crazy. Yeah, I was going to point out, you guys were talking about the restaurant being so behind or whatever, and it took me back to a Tampa con. Back when Tampa, we had a convention here that was just basically in a hotel. And they landed, I think we're like season 3 Walking Dead star. I forget which one it was, but it was a big enough one. And then there was another star. There was 2, but the Walking Dead one was one of it. And it went from being, like you said, like, a couple thousand people to being like out the door. Fire marshal had to be called. They cut everybody off. It was absolute chaos and mayhem trying to deal with that explosion. Now, of course, it's at like the Tampa Convention Center kind of thing. Like it had to make a big step up or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I thought of when you guys were sharing these stories. Like, yeah, people are thirsty for this, man. They want their life back.
That's right. They want to get back to normal. All of us that were there had a wonderful time hanging out with everybody. Getting to see Legendary Tron, getting to hang out with Mexican Iron Man again, Nick from Echo Base. This is the first time I've ever met Coach. Me and Nick have done, some stuff, run around and done some cons together, but this is the first time I ever got to hang out with Coach. That was absolutely wonderful. X-Wing, getting to see X-Wing, getting to see so many people, so many faces, and hear about what is going on, hear about what they're doing. Sure. Talk about just whatever. That's what this is all about. That's what all of this is all about. I hear a lot from people about numbers and about milestones and about bullshit and about money and monetization. And guys, it's not all about that. And you can sit there and point your finger at me and go, but Loki, you're monetized and blah, 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 blah. I don't really give a shit. If I'm not monetized tomorrow, I'm still going to be doing the morning show at the same time. It's the same day that I'm doing it now. Nothing will have changed. It's the exact same thing. And the reason why is because of there's stuff like this, getting together with everybody, hanging around everybody, being at a party with everyone, enjoying our time together, getting to sit across from someone you have only sat across a screen from, getting to sit across from them in real life and be like, remember when this happened and we did this, and remember when I said Buddha on Pops' stream?
He pulled off the food on Pops' show. He went food on me. So I always go back to what almost everyone has said. They all kind of went into this rabbit hole or whatever. They go back to Gary and Az and all of them. It's like, it's the I'm not crazy feeling, right? And for me, that's where I'm at. I'm like, I'm enjoying talking with so many of you that I feel like I'm just not crazy anymore. Like I'm still talking to someone. I went to a person today, total normie. She's not connected, but she will see every single Marvel thing because of her husband. And I said, I can't wait to hear your reaction to this Doctor Strange debacle. And she kind of knew because she'd seen a trailer or something like that. And I'm like, and she knows I've hated everything. I've hated all of the Marvel shows, every single one of them. There's not a single I could pick. It's like it's ranking the worst turds in the bowl. It's still a turd, and that's how I feel about all this crap.
I liked the first 4 episodes of WandaVision, and then it went to shit.
Pieces of things, but that's not the whole show. Like they're movies now. They're not. It's not a TV show anymore. Let's agree, right? It's like it's going to make a 9-hour movie or a 6-hour movie or whatever. So it's like if this was a movie, it'd just be crap. So when I do this, when I've gotten back into the YouTube thing, I talked to you, I think privately about this too. Where it's like I'm all in because I'm just enjoying the journey, and I'm really enjoying encouraging people. I don't know. Tabletop started a channel with he's got 20 people, and I'm like, yeah, go man, go. He's like, you stopped in. I'm like, I don't know anything about what you guys are talking about, but you know what? If you were in my comic shop and I sold that stuff, I'd be cheering you on to have a good time and make fun of it and whatever. What else can I do to help you? Because that's what real life, what all this crap actually translates to. It's us hanging out and talk about things we enjoy. Ironcaster.
Oh, just on the topic of the Doctor Strange, there's like a tweet that was going on. This one I shared earlier. Someone saying, it's one of these things that kind of gets me just not looking forward to the movie when they start basically listing out the homework, and it's very specific. It's like this one. It says, I could pull this up actually on screen for you guys.
Yeah. So let's see what you have here. This was.
Not going to spoil anything, but make sure you watch the 7th episode of season 6 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the 1st episode of What If, the whole Loki series, Deadpool 2, and the entire final season of X-Men the Animated Series, and unbelievably, Inhumans. I'm like, how many hours in the day do I have to watch this stuff just to be able to enjoy a movie?
Well, the reality is, none of us are going to do that because we're going to get enough of the references. We don't care. But it's like giving the normies homework. Like, we're going to stick this one guy in this one scene. Doesn't really matter if he lives or not, because if you watch Inhumans, you know who that is. And if you remember, there's this Fox movie. And if you watch that, you'll know who this character is. And this What If thing, remember, they got to bring her back. And it's like, for us that are actually fans and want things to be good, we go, I don't flip and care.
Well, a lot of this started with Star Trek. When they did the reboots, and they were like, to understand exactly what is happening in this movie, you must read the Star Trek Origin comic book episode 1 through 12. And you're like, wait a minute, why the hell? And now we're going to have a second movie, and you need to read the 24 episodes of what happened to Dr. Soong and his children before you can read. And you're like, but you're not doing the movie. You said that we're not doing the movie on Khan Noonien Singh. We're not, but you need to read the Khan Noonien Singh comic book to 24 episodes. Oh, you lying.
Yep.
Douchebag. I almost said F. I almost.
Foodie is the F word now.
Where this is a hangover from the Marvel comics from the last 15 years, where you have to have all these things tie in to where you can't just enjoy something on its own. You have to be able to, or there's this built up expectation that, this is so important, and to be able to enjoy this, you need to be signed on for 20 other additional things, and it is infuriating just to see, because it feels so predatory.
Jace is a spoilery guy, so be warned if you're around Jace's streams. He has no problem start throwing out spoilers, by the way. So if you don't want to be spoiled, so you can hate it in real time. I mean, you might see it in real time, whatever. So, Yeah, I understand, man. I understand. So I've been going through this because here's the thing: the reason they do this is because they don't have to write anything; they can just cheat. Go, well, no, but see, if you would understand, there's this whole depth to it because it's in this comic book and this show and this other movie. If you'd seen episode 7 of this one season, you'd understand what I'm referring to. You know, because I don't want to have to figure out how to spell it out that you can follow it.
Well, Raimi's stated. Sorry, Ironcaster. Raimi was stating that they have basically done the exact same thing to him with this movie that they did with him in Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3 all over again. Yep, feel the same.
So it's like you either let someone make the damn movie they're trying to make, or you get in their shit. You send in the corporate suits. You try and control everything about the movie. But when it fails, they're going to blame Raimi. They're going to go, this is all Raimi's fault. We wanted to do something for Raimi, wanted to bring back to the Spider-Verse thing, and this is what we get for it. It's all his fault. And that's horseshit. All this interference. They did the same thing in Alien 3. That is a chopped up mess of a movie because the suits at Fox said, we know better than you. And we're going to completely redo this. He wasn't allowed to edit the movie. He wasn't allowed with the changes of the movie. And if you actually see the uncut, like his version of the movie, it makes a weird kind of sense. It's still not a great movie, but at least it makes sense.
It's better. Yeah. Hashtag Fincher cut.
Yeah.
I got to look it up.
Yeah. So Ryan's comment about make Star Wars great again. Good luck, buddy. I've given up on that. The Vong animated trilogy. Yeah, Jace is saying it's old news and it's always been like this and it's stupid. Well, you know. So I gotta translate Christian's guess. I lost faith for the madness of the Feige verse when Raimi essentially said they did it to him again. Yeah. Because of the whole 6 week, 6 day post Spider-Man No Way Home thing was like, yep, red flag, red flag, red flag. I don't know which no. Chris says the best tweet from Raimi halfway through the filming of this movie. We have no idea how it's meant to end. I saw that. That was so strange, and I don't think there was a follow-up question to that. Like, I'm sorry, Mr. Raimi, could you elaborate on what the hell you meant there? Because what?
It means marbles flying by the seat of their pants. I'm sorry.
We need him.
Well, this past week it got announced at CinemaCon that Kevin Feige and the tops from the MCU are all getting together to now plan out the next 10 years.
Yeah. I don't think there's a plan. I think it's like we'll throw everything against the wall and then we'll figure it out. And it's just
what's been everything since Endgame. Then what was the point of watching Loki? None of it makes sense. What was the point of watching WandaVision?
Loki said, I think it was in our first or second Halo thing. And he said, and it was so funny because you went into your higher pitch voice. He says, Pops, you have to stop thinking. And it was
my God, you're thinking too much. Stop thinking. You're ruining it for all of us. Oh my God.
The MCU. You can't be asking questions on why Kang. You can't be asking questions on Wanda. You can't be asking questions on how can we have this attack on the United Nations people in New York and no other Avengers show up. You can't be asking questions. You can't. None of it will make sense. Moon Knight's just as bad.
I totally can't believe you brought up Wanda because she is such a tortured soul. I know she mind raped an entire village and forced them to do her bidding, and she even killed some of them. But oh my God, she's such a tortured soul.
I can't wait to hate watch this, and I know it's not for everybody. Whatever, I don't have to pay. Here's my deal. She's chasing after children that she mentally made up. They don't freaking exist. All of this is for imaginary kids. No offense. Take her out. The House of M used to drive me crazy with these different storylines that were done in the comic books too. I'm like, it makes no sense. It's like, at some point, she can be a monster. And they're embracing it is what's weird to me. They're not even trying to have a redemptive arc. So maybe Feige and them will eventually come crashing down when the finances do. Because there's no way I believe after a week or two of this, when everybody and the normies go, what the heck is that all about? And why is there a lesbian Puerto Rican alien running around that punches something? Like what?
Punches stars.
And then we're going to get Lady Thor, who can lift a hammer that only Captain America can move an inch until the final movie that we all cheered about. But now Lady Thor can. And it's like, I don't
Because
I
all
don't
women
get-
are worthy to hold the hammer.
comic
All
book-
women are worthy.
I'm trying to move to the next set of comic books because I read the 8 where she eventually does, and it's never explained. It's never. I don't know if you've ever read those comic books that Jason Aaron wrote. It's like the first episode, the first issue
Nope.
is she's on the. First off, here's a spoiler alert, guys. She shows up on the moon where the hammer is. She's in a Thor armor before she touches the hammer because you can see enough of it, and she picks up the hammer. You don't see anything. It ends. When issues 8 ends, we now find out it's Jane Foster who has cancer. We have no explanations on why, hows, and becauses. It must happen in another set of comic books somewhere else. It is
They give no reason for it.
no.
I've then collected the series after that, and
Okay.
I can confirm Jane Foster is by far the worst part about it.
Yeah, it's insane, and the worst part is too, Loki. She will talk in the over the top Norse dialogue. I hated Thor comic books for the most part. I only like Walt Simonson's work. Other than that, I really didn't read Thor comic books.
I was obviously a huge
I know
Loki
you were.
fan.
It's okay.
I've got the
Fair enough.
Loki comics, but yeah,
Uh,
I don't like Thor either. Big muscle,
Right.
dumb head, dumb
It
ass,
wasn't interesting.
blonde hair.
Just
Yeah,
not
no.
interesting. And he was always he was just arrogant. Anyway, she'll go into that Norse dialogue, but then in her thought bubbles, she's like a teenage 12-year-old. Should I kiss him or not? I see him. He's suffering. I just want to give him a big hug right now. I kid you not. Those are panels. I kid you not. There are panels.
Oh
of
my
him.
god!
And he says, I have never seen my hammer do something like that. Basically he's saying she's so incredible. She can do things with that hammer that I was never been able to do with. And then the other part of the backdrop that Jason Aaron wrote in all of this is that Odin is a buffoon. Is taking down Odin,
Of
bringing
course,
Odin down a notch.
of course. Father, all father. Yes, you
Yes.
have to take down Odin because he's the all father. Yes.
Dean. Hey, Dean, by the way. I was talking to my best friend. He's a total normie where tights movies are concerned by Richard Brown. Opinion is that they are done and good riddance. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because there was I think everyone just kind of collectively all got together and agreed that this was all building up to tell a story, and after 25, 26 movies, that story's done. But
And they
Marvel-
shit the bed in that last movie too, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Selfishly, I hope myself and they sell the IPs worthy to rest. Well, I don't think they're going to do that, Dean. But I will say this: money does matter. And I've been white pill. I scream the white pill of hope. We make our content. We do what we can do. Good, point people to good things. Because at the end of the day, shares are down 37% at the Mouse House. Netflix has dropped. I mean, the year over year, Netflix I think is like 50. I mean, it's insane. These companies, listen. Someone will get fired. This doesn't last very long. This is different than we do agendas and the prices still go through the roof. Remember, these tech stocks, like our stock market is propped up on like 10 basic stocks. There's like 10 stocks that drive so much of this because there's massive overlap with mutual fund and 401k investment. So when these things are tanking like this, it's not affecting like one or two people. It's affecting everybody in some way, shape, or form. So reality is people will lose their jobs. It's about when they do.
People will lose their shit too because they're losing their money.
When they get their statements in a couple months and they start checking their balances, whatever, you're going to see people go, what the heck is happening over at Amazon? What the heck is happening? What do you mean you're making Lady Thor for my son? What is this crap?
And
Go
we're
ahead.
going to be finding out next week because that's the next quarterly shareholders meeting.
For which one?
Disney.
Mouse House. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Scott Westbrook in the house. Hey, bud. Awesome. Thanks for popping in. The next interpretation is that there is a new version of the CW Iris. Yeah. There was in the Flash movie, right? She was supposed to be in the first. Was she in Justice League? Justice League. She was recast, and she was a black Iris in there because ginger lives don't matter. They're there. Gotcha. Sorry about that. Awesome. So. All right, let me go back to, I want to ask Loki a question. So you were going to go to a Star Wars convention and your first purchase was Star Trek stuff. Was that by design? Because that's actually part of my intel. I give people advice as collectors. Like you always want, so the buying tricks are this. One, you buy when things are not happening right now. So right now you should be seeing a massive dip in some Star Wars merch at a non-Star Wars convention, because there's no Star Wars stuff happening right now of any interest because it's only Mandalorian and Boba nonsense. But if you're interested, let's say you're interested in some OG Vader stuff or something, you might be able to get a deal on that. But to go into a Star Wars convention and buy Trek is a brilliant move, because that's not something that there's going to be a high demand for. That person was really willing to take your deal, your offer, bro, because who else is going to come walking in with that? Same thing with probably Doctor Who merch or things like that. You kind of play off these balance. When I've gone to these conventions, that's one of the tricks. That's how I ended up with my Indiana Jones autograph. Well, I got it autographed picture at a Star Wars convention because I got it for like $5.
It's not a bad, and that's not a bad idea.
It's a great.
We walked around the floor once, and I looked at everything. I looked at whatever they had. I saw some Transformers that I thought about. I saw the Star Trek stuff.
Yep.
I didn't really see any Star Wars stuff that I was like, oh my God, I have to have that. I was on the lookout for Star Wars Transformers because there was a line of Star Wars Transformers. Yeah. That was like Obi-Wan Kenobi and a Jedi turned into a Jedi Starfighter. Vader turned into a Eta 2 custom. There was all these. So that's
there
what
was a Han Solo and Chewbacca into the Millennium Falcon.
Millennium Falcon and a Boba Fett. So these were things that I was on the lookout for that I didn't care if I found them loose in a box, whatever. That's what I was looking for.
But you got a great deal on a Lord of the Rings sword for the same way. It's an off-convention item that's oddly rare. I don't want to say rare, but it's less common, right? So it's like, okay, you went to an off-convention. Same thing with going to a comic book show. Like when you go to a comic book show, or let's like MegaCon's coming up here in Florida later this month. You're not going to want to go up in there and buy anything that's remotely trendy right now. That's not where you're going to make any money. That's a horrible buy right now. You need to be looking at some vintage stuff that's not being talked about. DC stuff is really not holding any value right now. So you look at vintage DC stuff that's not the Batman stuff or not the main keys. But if you're looking at like secondary keys, like you could probably get Year One at MegaCon pretty reasonable. You could find Death in the Family pretty reasonable. Things like that. You could probably find Miller Daredevil pretty reasonable. I don't know that Daredevil would be a hot topic right now. Things like that. That's how you can, if you're looking at like, a way to really bulk up your collections or your stuff. That's one of my keys of advice. And your story just made me just fill with warmth and joy on the inside.
Well, the Star Trek stuff I had been looking for a long time. There was a bunch of those I never got. All I ever got was the Enterprise. So when I saw, the light up Playmate starships, and they're big, man. They're big. They're like good sized model, and they've got the sticker. They've got stickers. All that stuff's in those boxes. I've already pulled them out and looked. All the stuff I need to make them look nice and shiny. None of the batteries were kept in them, so the battery terminals are clean. You pop batteries right in and they work. I've tested them. It's great. It was a great buy.
I think it's awesome. The pictures of your back seat made me smile. I was so full of warmth. I'm like,
I saved about $200 buying all that at once. Yeah, I saved about $200. So
go ahead, Ironcaster.
I would say there's a hobby shop here in town I can go check on that I think has a bunch more of the older Star Trek model kits from the Next Generation era that they just have never sold. And I maybe we'll take a look at those and see if I can get a deal on those.
Yeah, it's buying things off popularity is really the trick right now. I've had a hard time moving certain things, so I know they're not popular right now. I just kind of take them.
And Star Trek's not. Star Trek's not a popular.
Star Trek is not popular. Doctor Who is completely dead. If you're into Who, this is the biggest buying opportunity you can possibly imagine. If you're into it, you're going to be into it. Forget about what's happening. Now's a great buying opportunity, especially if you got at a Trek or a Star Wars convention.
He had a J.J. Abrams Enterprise, and he was, and this is the size of the ones I bought. The big one. He was like $10, $10, and I was like, and I was just like, no,
almost worth $10.
Yeah, the box is. I was like, no, I don't.
$10 on the box,
and that was just me. I probably should have taken it, but I didn't. I was like, no, I don't want it.
You could have probably gotten a video out of that where you could have gotten like Mike to like go lightsaber on that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I could have. You throw it off the roof of the hotel. Watch it fly.
You know what? There's something to be said for that. I don't know if we've talked about this, or there's something called spite funding. I don't know if you guys have heard of spite funding or not. There's a guy named Michael Malice I follow. People, he actually kind of made a lot of money doing this, but it would be like that. It'd like, if you guys will pay for it, I will buy this Enterprise and then I will set it on fire and videotape the whole thing for you. Right? That would be the equivalent of spite funding for your scenario. But
I think what might have been even better there.
For like, they'll pay him like $10 a jar, and he'll buy like every jelly from Japan or something, and he has to eat them all on air. And yeah, this is spite funding. It's so he had to review like Michelle Obama. They paid him he raised like $1,000 to review like Michelle Obama's book or something because he's a professional. And it was like he raised like $1,000 to do it. But people are laughing because this video is like him suffering through this excruciating, horrible narrative. Oh yeah, I can't imagine. But yeah, spite funding is a thing. I could see you. I would have given you the $10 to have the Enterprise crafted.
I had the $10. I was like, no, I don't want it.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't.
I have stuff where I'm like, I'm not even sure what to do with in that regard. So, what are you thinking? Ironcaster has wheels just a turning.
I was just thinking, I would have had you get the box, hand it over to Mike. Don't even open it. Just take the lightsaber to the box.
Just destroy
everything inside.
Trash it.
So let's plan ahead. So we have 3 more weeks, right? Because it's we're on 6. There's supposed to be 9. Next week will be a Wednesday night, so we have 2 more after that, and then we'll have to figure out our plan of it. Actually, we should have a good night, a healthy night. I wanted to ask you guys if you're up for this. I don't really have a camera set up for this, but I was thinking about doing the equivalent of an unboxing / unpacking. I'm pretty sure I found a couple that were loose in one of my drawers. I have original 1982 Tron trading cards still in wax pack.
No.
I think I have 2 or 3 packs. I was thinking about busting one open with you guys. And we just pretty sure. I know I have a 1984 Topps football or baseball pack that was in that stuff. My dad found. Hang on, I'll go off camera. You guys give me a second.
I'm thinking about it now. I've got some of the 90s, I think Top Fleet Marvel trading cards that my father was collecting because he was in the 90s big on collecting a bunch of the
you kidding me, brother? Right here on my desk.
Marvel cards.
You kidding me? I love this crap.
I've got a bunch of these that I should be able to go track down, and then I could show those off for the stream too. You know what? Some of those are worth a lot of money if their centering's right. Those actually that's what the pandemic made all crazy on that kind of stuff because none of them were printed properly. My dad opened one or 2 of these up, but I have a couple that's sealed. This is a Series 4. Look, garbage bag. Oh, these are original stickers. This is Furry Murray. Furry Murray.
Oh my God!
And some of these again.
Murray, you got it again.
So what people would do is, so notice on the print how one side is how the white bar is significantly fatter than the other. It's really off center.
Yep.
But if you can find them mint, they get them graded to the PSA grading company. A PSA 10 of some of this crap is so rare. These things were selling for so much money on the internet at a PSA 10. The problem was PSA had to shut down because they didn't have enough staff during the pandemic, and it created a bottleneck for the sports card people. So their stuff went crazy too. But we can do stuff like this. Just open up stuff like this. I'll pull those other cards out of my box, and we can do stuff like that. Let's do some fun stuff like that. These are not Marvel, but the same kind of era. I have tons of these. I've been selling some of these. This is actually a factory set one. I don't know if I showed you guys that or not.
Oh,
it's a factory set. It's a Series 2 factory set silver version. Slave Leia, of course, is banned now. We can't do any more Slave Leia.
No, it's the Hut Slayer.
But people that want to collect just her, I'm getting $20 for this stupid card. And I have 3 of them. So this vintage stuff's hard to come by now. This is it's in a sleeve, so I'm not sure how it'll look on a camera. Look at the Topps Finest from 1996 are beautiful cards. That Boba Fett card,
great.
That Boba Fett card, I've sold out. I think I may have sold out of all my Boba Fett ones in that series too. They're just rare-ish. And then to open more packs and stuff, it's a fortune. So this stuff's gotten, I don't want to say rare because that's actually not fair. This stuff's actually comments. People just aren't posting it or listing it or sharing it or trading it or anything. So we could have a night where we do that instead of get into some of this other stuff. Okay. So anything else you guys want to throw out there? I know you got your morning show, Loki. Anything else you want to pop and
We're going to be doing a special with Rambling Canuck. I'll keep you guys updated for a very special member of the community that has been diagnosed with MS and is getting towards the end. He served in the military.
Yep.
He served in our military. He's a really good friend of ours. We're going to do a special just for him, special video. So that's what I'm kind of working on now. And of course, the morning show, and gearing up to do Dallas in October. So Retro Palooza in Dallas, ValhallaCon.
Yeah, I hear you guys talking about that. I'll have to get more information from you so I can find out what's going on. I'm not sure I can pull something like that off, but you never know.
You never know.
It's a Friday, just a Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of thing. So you never know.
I was like, if you guys were coming to anything a little further north, like I would say, even Kentucky or even Ohio. Mind you, I'm up in Michigan, so I'm like, I'm not really, I'm like, if I get something like a state closer.
You got the ice cold windy winters.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Ironcaster.
People here who forget completely how to drive.
Yeah. Well, it's here in Florida with the rain, which is really ironic because it rains like nearly every day during the summer.
I was up there about 2 years ago to see a Dega Outlaw.
Okay.
So, but that was, of course, me leaving from Missouri, not me leaving from Texas.
Yeah.
So.
Ironcaster, what else going on with you? Got set streams this week or anything else going on we could pop and plug?
I might just kind of go live with a couple of random streams. Maybe play some Mega Man, maybe some Castlevania. I'm kind of feeling some retro vibes.
Massive Castlevania player. That's all I heard in the background. I could just tell what he was doing from the other room. I'd walk in. Oh, there, I can even go. So I don't even know what the new version sound like. If it's the same music or not, but it was back then.
And also on Steam, the Game Boy Advance games are up there.
Yep.
Now as a collection.
I'm still waiting on freaking Symphony of the Night. I'm like, hurry up! Release Symphony of the Night!
Come on,
and the Xbox games.
You've given it to everything else.
And the Xbox games. And the N64 games.
All right. Well, folks, we did our part. We covered Hollow. Gave you some fun stuff to talk about, too. We'll have fun stuff we'll be talking about, and hopefully you'll connect with us accordingly. Links are in the description, of course. Appreciate all of your likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the chat. Love you guys for making this possible, hanging out with us. And, we're watching this so you don't have to. So hopefully that's a good thing to keep going. So thanks again for that, folks. And as I say, I'm Pops. Make tomorrow better than today. And be blessed. Be blessed out there.